Hey guys, welcome to the Top Percentile channel. My name is Shah. I scored a 99.99 percentile in CET 2020 and secured an All India rank 4. So first of all, welcome to the channel, and today we are going to discuss about the Quants section of MBA CET. So we'll keep it Hindi and English casual, okay? Yeah. So first of all, we know that in MBA CET there are four major sections: logical reasoning, verbal ability, abstract reasoning, and QADI. QADI is quantitative aptitude and data interpretation. Okay, so four different sections in MBA CET. And now in the QADI topic, again, there are two different sections. One is the QA part and the second one is the DI part. So आज के video में we are going to go over the entire QA part and try to debrief about how you need to be improving your score in quants and what things you should consider before attempting any mock or before going for your final exams. So आज के video में it's a complete guide to quants for MBA CET. So I've given you a small brief about what all different sections are there. Now, in that subsection of QADI, inside that subsection of QA, there are again four different types of questions that you will encounter. So first of all, usually in CET over the last few years, we have observed that there are some questions on number series. So number series is basically जहाँ पे आपको चार numbers दिए रहेंगे and you might have to identify what the fifth number might be in that number series. Fifth number की जगह पे blank होगा. Or it is also possible that they give you a number series and they ask you which one does not fit in this particular series. So that's number series. Second would be approximations, very simple questions, pure calculations, nothing else is required. If you are good with numbers, just calculations, I mean, you can definitely get these marks for sure. Approximations mein kya hota hai? They'll give you questions like what is 77 times 11 plus XYZ, something like that. Okay, so I hope you get a gist of it. Then there'll be data comparisons. So data comparisons mean usually there are A and B, and A will be a small question, B will be a small question. You have to identify if A is greater than B, A is less than B, A is equal to B, or similar other PNCs. Okay, so that's data comparison. And the fourth major part, jiski a lot of people are afraid of this particular part, sabki fatti hai isse, that is arithmetic. Okay, so arithmetic mein you get word problems. In these word problems, it might be a one word, one sentence problem, could be a 4 sentence, 5 sentence, a paragraph, kuch bhi ho sakta hai usme. Or usme different sections are there. I mean, different topics are there like percentages, time and work, time, speed, distance, linear equations, quadratic equations, and whatnot. So let me do a quick thing. Let me just show you on our website the major or the most relevant types of questions or the topics that you will encounter in MBA CET. So here we go to the quant and DI section and we see, so there is percentages, linear equations, profit and loss, time and work, quadratic equations, SICI is simple interest, compound interest. Then we have approximations, numbers, number series, data sufficiency is again part of the data comparisons. Then we have progressions, logarithms, ratio, proportion, averages, partnerships, mixtures and allegations, time, speed and distance, permutations and combinations, and some miscellaneous things. Okay, so these are largely the most relevant things for MBA CET. Of course, apart from that, geometry ki bhi questions kabhi kabar aa jate hain, but then it's not found very often, right? So it's not a very important topic for cons in MBA CET. But otherwise, jo bhi abhi list maine dikhaya aapko, these are the topics that we have covered in our course, and these are very, very, very relevant to CET, and you cannot avoid these topics for sure. Okay. So that was just a brief about what different topics or what different sections are there. So now let us try and understand whenever you are sitting in a mock, how you should attempt that particular mock, okay? And let's understand the topper's perspective towards this. So first of all, you sit for the mock, you have 50 questions in front of you, which are in the QADI section. I'm going to focus only on QA. So roughly about 30 questions, right? Because around 18 to 20 questions fall into the DI part. So abhi ye jo 30 questions hai, isme my best bet, or I'm very sure about a few things which are approximations, number series, and data comparisons. Because ye teen jo sub parts of QA hai na, these are very simple. I mean, you can definitely solve. Usme ek aadha question aa sakta hai koi difficult, but then the other parts of it are very simple, and you have to make yourself competent enough to solve these type of questions. Okay, because number series में क्या है, 4 numbers दिए, fifth वाला number ढूंढना है, and basically इसमें क्या होता है, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, या एक combination होगा, squares, cubes होगा, इसका भी एक sequence. Once you learn that, it's very simple. You saw in our course also, we have explained all those things. So number series आपको करके जाना है for sure, because इसमें अगर 5 question या 4 question आ गए, you don't have to even leave out a single question over here. The next part would be approximations. Approximations, again, मैंने इतने सारे videos, इतने सारे live में अभी तक बताया है कि calculation is the most critical aspect for quants and for DI. और अपने calculations master कर लिए, तो approximations will be very easy. So calculations के लिए आपने क्या करना है? Every day in the morning, whenever you wake up, while you are brushing, while you are in the bathroom, while you are having your tea, coffee, milk, whatever it might be, in the morning you have to repeat tables from 1 to 20, squares from 1 to 30, cubes from 1 to 12, fractions from 1 to 1 by 20, and factorials from 1 to 10 factorial. ये जो 5 चीजें हैं, अगर आप इसे रोज करो for the next 20-30 days, then I'm very sure that calculations ऐसे हो जाएगा तुम्हारे, right? So that was about calculations and approximations. अभी data comparison का scene ये है ना कि data comparison के जो questions होते हैं, they are more or less arithmetic only. So once you solve these arithmetic के topics, then data comparison automatically becomes easy. But the good part about data comparison is that arithmetic में usually there are paragraphs, there are word problems that they ask. Data comparison में it's going to be a simple one-line question, और उसको आप solve करके, that is A, और B के लिए भी one-line question. Once you solve that, you can compare that and you can, move ahead with your answer. Data comparison, a lot of times you are also asked quadratic comparisons. Okay, so there'll be 2 quadratic equations given, or there'll be 1 quadratic equation, or usme A or B ko you would have to compare, things like that. So again, quadratic equations ke bhi काफी सारे tricks होते हैं. We have explained that in our course. So once you know about these tricks, yeah, you know about finer aspects about how to solve things quickly. That's when your scores and cons will start improving, and your fear for cons will start reducing. So that was about data comparisons. And finally, arithmetic, the most dreaded thing. Or we have a lot of students, or jitne bhi students ko maine mentor kiya, most of them, about 80-90% of them have told me that arithmetic is something they are not comfortable with. So thing is, I understand it might be difficult for a lot of people, but anything and everything can be improved with help of a lot of practice, right? So arithmetic mein aapko kya karna hai? Whenever you come across an arithmetic question, you have to first of all bucket it into easy, medium, or difficult. Once you have done this bucket, hum target karne wale hain sirf easy or medium questions ko. We are not going to even touch the difficult ones. Okay, CET mein it's not required. CET is about speed. Okay, and if you want to solve quickly, if you want to solve with a lot of speed, then you have to stay away from difficult questions. So idea is that arithmetic mein we'll try and identify the simpler ones, and then only go for the difficult ones. So I'll again share my screen. I'll tell you which are the most relevant topics. Okay, ये तो आपको skip बिल्कुल नहीं करना है. I'll divide them into priority 1, priority 2, and priority 3 topics. So over here again, percentage very very important. इसके बिना cons नहीं हो पाएगा. Percentage आपको करना ही है. Linear equations very basic, very important. इसके applications you will find in SICI, you will find in time, speed, distance, time and work, a lot of those things. Okay, so percentage, linear equations, profit and loss, all these 3 things are priority 1. Similarly, quadratic equations is priority 1, SICI is priority 1, numbers, approximations, number series is priority 1, ratio, proportion, allegation, this is also priority 1. This is sort of 1.5, let's call it. Okay, once you have covered the basics, then you can go to ratio, proportion, averages, partnership, mixtures, and allegations. Let's call it 1.5 for now. Okay, so that's 1 and 1.5. Now priority 2 mein aapko kya karna hai? It's time and work, time, speed, and distance. Data sufficiency bhi aapko udhar cover karna hai. Logarithms थोड़े बहुत आप उधर कर सकते हो. Okay, that's priority 2. And priority 3, it's modern math, which is usually permutations and combinations, and then progressions, and apna probability, and finally geometry. So these are the things more or less in quants that you have to be aware of when you start studying. If you start studying right now, then that is the order that you have to follow. जो मैंने अभी बताया. I will make some short reels also on that, so you have it handy and all. So yeah, that was about the different parts in quants. Now, if you really want to be a topper in CET, then of course all the topics or all the sections are very important. But specifically for quants, I've got 4 tips for you, which will be the game changer for sure. The first one I have already told you, it's calculations. Calculations can, it will make a very big difference. You can save up to 5 to 10 minutes overall in the quant section. Right now, if you are at a 50-minute mark for scoring about 30 marks, if you're spending 50 minutes for scoring just 30, with the help of good calculations, you can reduce that by about 10, 12 more minutes. So 30 marks in about 38 to 40 minutes, which still isn't very good. The target we are aiming for in CET is 1 mark per minute. Okay. So aapko apne calculations, they have to be top notch. Okay. If you want to enter a very good institute from CET for your MBA, which is very good for your future, then make sure that you are practicing calculations a lot. The second would be mental models. Okay, so idhar aata hai aapki memory that comes into picture. So what I would say over here is that whenever you're solving any question, be it in practice or be it during mocks or any topic test, sectional test, the main focus is that any question which is new to you for the first time, it should never appear to be new whenever you enter a similar question in your next attempts of any exercises or any mocks or anything. Okay? Idea is that एक बार आपने question देख लिया है, it should not escape your memory. That is about your mental model. So once you have seen a question, you know how to go about it, you know how to approach it. And once you see a similar question down the line, 2-3 weeks down the line, at that point of time, वो immediately strike होना चाहिए, बत्ती जलनी चाहिए कि this is the type of question I have solved earlier and this is how I'm going to approach it. So a skeleton structure जो होता है about solving a particular question, that should be fixed in your head if you have seen a similar question in the past. The third would be solving methods. Again, a very big game changer. So as I said, CET is about speed solving. So solving methods will definitely, make a big difference. To give you an example over here, let's say there is person A and there is person B. Person A has practiced a lot. Person B has also practiced a lot. But now person A, for each and every question, he's going to take his pen, he's going to take his paper, then he's going to start solving. And then he's going to make linear equations for every equation. He's going to then, do those calculations for every calculation. So be it. Uska jaane wala hai paper because he's taking a lot of time in solving. So solving methods, you have to be quick. You have to solve a lot of things orally. You have to solve a lot of things mentally. And that is when a lot of the shortcuts or a lot of the strategies that you would have learned over your practice period will come into your service. Okay. So that's about solving methods. And finally, the most important thing, not just for quants, but for your entire CET, for all the sections, is question selection. This is the biggest game changer. A lot of the people who score a 99.99 or a lot of the people who are even in the 99.95, they still get into JB. Okay, 99.95, you have a very good chance of getting into JB. But the difference is that the score ka difference hoga 10, 12 marks. That would be because of question selection. Somewhere in the final exam, the 99.95% would have selected a wrong question and would have spent some extra minutes. That could be because of bad luck. That could be because of bad choices. Could be anything. But ये जो difference होता है, that is because of question selection. Okay. And of course, a 99.95 guy and a 99.05 guy. Okay. इनका भी जो difference होता है, a lot of it is because of question selection. So you have to make sure that throughout the paper, you are attempting only the simplest questions first. So इसके लिए आपको practice पहले तो करना पड़ेगा. You should be aware about what sort of topics you are comfortable with, what sort of topics are inherently difficult. Okay, so easy, medium, difficult classification is very important for your personal self. Whenever you are practicing, whenever you are solving a mock, after the mock, analyze it. After your practice session, analyze what you have done. Try and identify if a particular topic fits into the easy, medium, or difficult bucket for you. Once you have done that, you have to be aware and apply it whenever you are writing a mock. I'm extremely sorry for that. My throat is going sore right now. Yeah, so that was about easy, medium, difficult. Easy questions first, medium second, difficult later on. And finally, I'm going to discuss about the 2020 versus the 2021 paper pattern for CET. So 2020, we knew that there are going to be sections. So Quants ka section alag tha, wahan pe 50 questions the. But in 2021, things changed. Quants ka section was merged with all the other sections, so any question pops up at any time, and you are not aware if it's going to be a quant question or not. So इस situation में आप क्या कर सकते हो? 2020 का जो pattern था, जो original वाला था sectional, उसमें तो मैंने आपको जो बोला, it's going to work flawlessly. You have to select the right questions and then only solve. But in 2021, any question comes at any point of time. So abhi aap kya karoge is that you just see if that question is solvable under 1 minute. Okay, so yahan pe bhi easy, medium or difficult categorization will be very, very, very helpful. If it's solvable under 1 minute, you solve it right now. If it's solvable under 1.5 minutes, you still solve it right now. If you think that you'll take more than 1.5 or more than 2 minutes, abhi mat karna, you'll come back to it. Or isme na, a lot of strategies come into picture, because how you mark your questions, if you mark it for review, okay? So any question which you think you will be able to solve between 1.5 to 2.5 minutes should be marked for review. Less than 1.5, solve it immediately. 1.5 to 2.5 minutes, mark it for review. Anything you feel that will be very difficult and you will not be able to solve it, or you will take more than 2.5 minutes, for such questions, what you have to do is you don't have to mark it, okay? हम एंड में आके उसको मार्क कर लेंगे, और अगर आपको लगता है कि एंड में आके टाइम नहीं मिलेगा, देन अभी कुछ भी रैंडम ब्लफ मार के यू कैन मूव अहेड. So that's the difference between 2020 and 2021 pattern. 2021 pattern will of course require you all to be more aware about what sort of questions you're attempting. Your question selection game has to be top notch for the 2021 pattern for sure. 2020 pattern पहले वाले pattern आ गया, अगर 2020 वाला आ गया है, then तुम्हारा job भी थोड़ा simpler हो जाएगा, because now you know कि हाँ, कौन से वाले questions are all going to be clubbed together and you have to solve them together. Okay, so that was the complete guide to QA, and those were my inputs for the quant section. And so recently we got the notification that CET, the MBA CET, is going to be conducted in the last week of August 2022. So now that's the case, and whenever you see this particular video, I'm very sure that there's going to be a lot of time before you finally attempt for CET. So again, if you think right now that cons is a difficult section for you, you still can make it up. You can practice real hard, and trust me, it's not difficult. CET ka cons is much simpler compared to CAT, but the catch is of course the speed. So if you're good with calculations, if you're good with mental models and solving methods, ऐसे तुम solve कर पाओगे. So yes, with that, I would like to end today's session. I wish you the best and keep hustling. We'll see you in some other video. Take care. Bye.